Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Good evening. If you have been attending Hello Swasthya regularly, I am not I am a regular face here, so I am looking forward to another 20-minute interaction with all of you. So type on chat ready if you're ready to age gracefully or reverse your age, because we will talk about some good pointers that you can implement from tomorrow that will help you. We will have some basic understanding about why we age, and then we will look at how to go backwards. So let me tell you a little story. 10 years back, I was overweight by 17 kgs, had a lot of issues, and my there are there are devices which can measure your age based on what your lifestyle is, and my age at that point of time was more than 44, 45. Today I am 45. I don't think I look 45, right? Right, what do you think? So I worked on it. Last 10 years I have been working on it, and I have tried my best to age gracefully uh, and reverse aging as well, because now my biological age according to these measurements are less than 40. Though I'm chronologically 45, my age is actually my internal age is less than 40. That's the goal for all of us here. The goal is to ensure that we don't age fast. So let me share my screen, and let's dive into this topic and understand a little fundamentals here. Give me one moment. Yeah, let me know if the screen is visible. Okay, great. Thank you. So why are you aging faster than you should? Are you? Okay, so let's dive into it. First question. Why do people age differently? Can somebody put it on the chat? How many of you have seen some people who look younger than they are, and some people who look older than they are? Why do people age differently? What could be the reason? Shivam says genetics. We will touch base on that. Is it really true? Yeah, genetics is a part of it. Their lifestyle habits, metabolism, body fat. Yeah, multiple things, right? Stress, discipline, bad health habits. Yes, you're all right. You're all right. And there is a time bomb inside you. Okay, we can use it for our benefit, or we can use it. If we don't know how to use it, we will trigger the wrong thing. So we'll talk about that little time bomb. 3 questions for all of you today. Okay. How old do I look is a question you ask yourself. Okay. I look younger than my age. I look about my age. I look older than my age. Please write this down in your own notebook or mobile phone. Just make a note of it. How old do you look? Second question. How would you rate your physical health? Okay. Um, I am in better health than most people my age. So can you climb up 5 floors of a building without breathing heavily or getting overly tired? Some measurements. Ask yourself, how is your physical health right now? Is it good, better, or is it worse than what you feel at your age? How old do you feel? Now, looking is a different thing and feeling is a different thing. All of us can feel how we are. You know, how old do you feel? Do you feel younger than your age? Write this down, and we will try to do better. In the next 20 minutes, I'll give you a lot of tips that you can start working on this. And these 3 questions should have the perfect answer, actually. Okay, imagine your cells have an expiration date, like a ticking clock. Every time they divide, the cells divide, right? That clock counts down. But what if I told you you can slow it down, stop it, or even reverse it? Is that possible? Okay. Okay, there is something called as the health span and a disease span. Let's talk about this. What is health span? What is lifespan? Lifespan is the amount of years, number of years we live. Health span is the number of years we are disease free. And disease span is the number of years we are suffering with a disease. We are living, we are alive, but we are not leading a high quality life. So the key here is to increase the health span and reduce the disease span. So that when we increase the lifespan, see, lifespan is increasing today. Or I might be speaking too early also. I think the lifespan will take a hit, is also taking a hit in the terms of we are, as mankind, we are messing up with everything in our food today. So that is definitely taking a hit. But overall, because of the medical system, which has, a lot of breakthroughs in the medical system in terms of saving our lifespan has increased. But the key is to increase our health span so that we spend maximum number of years with a higher quality of life. Okay, one more question to you. What factor influences this health span? Is it genes or is it environment? On the chat, please. Is it genes or environment? What factors influence the age? Is it environment or is it genes? Some people are saying both, some are saying environment. Very less people are talking about genes today. Both, environment, genes. Somebody said genes. So let's understand that. What is important? Is genetics important or the environment important, or both are important? This is the key here. Genetics load the gun. Environment pulls the trigger. What does it mean? Genetics, obviously you cannot discount it. There are certain genetic information passed on to us by our parents and their parents as well. But the key here is there are genetic information which are passed on to us, but these things get triggered with lifestyle habits and changes. So it is in our control to trigger the genetic information or not to trigger the genetic information. That is in our control. So genetics has it, but your environment can make sure that you don't trigger it for as long as possible. That is the key here. So what is this on the screen? Can you guess what is this? What is this you're seeing on the screen? Because this is the only thing we'll talk today. DNA, no, it's not entire DNA. It's a chromosome, right, Tarun? You're right. It's a chromosome. Okay. Why the hell are we talking about chromosome? A chromosome contains your genetic material. We are talking about longevity. We are talking about aging. So let's talk about a chromosome, because our chromosomes contain the genetic, material which is getting passed down. But can you see that orange thing at the edge of the chromosome? Can you see that? Yeah. What do you think that is? The edge of the tip of the chromosome. What do you think that is? That is something called as telomere. Correct, Sriranjani? You're right. Absolutely right. It's called telomere. Telomeres. Now, what is this? The science of telomeres. They are called timekeepers. Okay. So it is like your shoelace. Okay. So how many of you have seen your shoelace? Yeah, you have seen that. What do you call the edge of the shoelace? It's called the aglets, which holds the shoelace in position. Have you seen that? The shoelace is long and the aglets hold it in position. Your shoelace is your chromosome, and the tip of that shoelace, aglet, is your telomere. Now, why am I telling you about shoelaces? Are we going to take a run? No, we are going to understand how this impacts longevity. A shocking fact. People with shorter telomeres look and feel 10 years older than they are. So actually, the key here is the telomere, the edge of that chromosome, or that edge of the last part of that shoelace, aglet, that determines our longevity. That length of the telomere determines our longevity. And that is why we have to understand what activities or what lifestyle habits can trigger it to become shorter, and what should we do to make it longer. Is that clear? How do we live a longer life? It's about the telomere. Have you ever met a 40-year-old who looks like a 25-year-old? Maybe somebody handsome like me. They are not vampires. They just have great telomeres. Okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. When that edge of that shoelace is gone, you throw the shoelace, correct? How many of you have had that experience? We mess up the edge of that shoelace, the aglet is gone, and it is all, it's coming apart. So we throw that and buy a new shoelace. But our chromosomes, our telomeres, you cannot throw it away. The key here is what can we do to increase the length of the telomere and ensure that they are holding the chromosomes in place so it is not fraying around. So if you have ever blamed your wrinkles on your kids, on your boss or Netflix binges, you are not wrong. But science says blame it on your telomeres first. So what's killing and saving your telomeres? Let's dive into this. There was a movie called The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Have anybody seen that? Very long time back. This movie is about a disease where somebody grows younger every day. Okay, now we don't want that disease, but we will have a movie experience today. So, you're only such a small boy, why are you dying so quickly? Because I have shorter telomeres. This is the reality. People who have shorter telomeres do not lead a very long life. So in this movie, our goal is to identify the villains which are shortening our telomeres, and then identify heroes who can kill these villains. Okay, let's embark on that journey. I want you to stay interactive with me. Does the hero have any chance? Do you think any Bollywood movie hero has any chance if there are 10 villains? But thankfully, it is not a Bollywood movie. It's our life, and we have good number of heroes. The first one, major stress, anxiety, depression. Major stress means not your 10-minute stress. Major stress is about 6 months. Chronic stress, 1 year, 2 years. Long-term stress, bad marriage, wrong financial decision, wrong relationships. These are long-term stress. Toxic boss, toxic work culture. These are long-term. Depression, people in constant in a medically identified depression. Number one villain, they can shorten your telomere. Villain number two, negative thinking. Some people are constantly thinking negative. If you give them a glass with a half cup of water, they can always see the empty side. Okay. When we are constantly involving in negative thinking, it can shorten our telomeres. Pessimism and rumination. What is rumination? I'll tell you what is rumination. Constantly thinking about something for a solution, but actually you're not solving the problem. How many of you are thinking, how many of you have experienced this? A problem you have faced and you can't take it out of your mind. Constantly you're thinking about the problem. How many of you have faced that? Can you raise your hand or give a shout out on the chat? A problem has happened. Maybe if you're the husband, wife shouted at you or vice versa, you're not able to take it out of your head. But you're not able to solve the problem. That is called rumination. It is very, very bad for your health. Constantly thinking about, our mind is like a YouTube channel. After a movie, after a video plays in YouTube, automatically it pulls up another video in 20 seconds if you don't cancel. Our mind is like that. Automatically it will keep playing one video after the other video and making you to get into that pessimistic mind frame. It can shorten your telomere. Villain number 4, lack of exercise. Okay, I will come back and talk about what to do with this. Villain number 5, lack of good quality sleep. What is the definition of good quality sleep? When you wake up in the morning, how energetic do you feel? Are you ready to kill the day? Or do you want to snooze the alarm button? That is the definition of good sleep. I can see a lot of people yawning on the screen. Good, you are getting good sleep. So after this session, please go to bed immediately. I will also. Okay, that is when you will get deep sleep. Belly fat is villain number 6. Okay, here, one quick thing. Just being overweight is not a bigger concern. Belly fat is a bigger concern. Okay, this is not to say that you should not, you can be overweight. You should not be overweight. But belly fat is a major concern because belly fat is metabolically active. It can shorten your telomere. Villain number 7, inflammation. I mean, inflammation can itself be an expert topic some other day, but villain number 7 is inflammation. Villain number 8 is stress, oxidative stress. If you cut an apple into half, it turns brown. It's called oxidation. It is happening in your body as well. This can shorten your telomeres. Villain number 9, insulin resistance. This is the root cause of PCOS, obesity, and a lot of other issues. Insulin resistance. How do you find out? Please check your fasting insulin. Do a blood test, check your fasting insulin, and talk to your coach. They will tell you if you have insulin resistance or not. It is not very evident to find out about insulin resistance. There are a few things which your coach can help you decide whether you have insulin resistance or not. Villain number 10, the last villain, is environmental toxins. The usage of plastics, the usage of aluminum, chemical leaching, and the various preservatives, pesticides, everything that is entering our system can shorten the telomeres. So we have 10 villains identified. Okay. But we have an army of 8 heroes, like the Marvel team. And these 8 heroes are more powerful than the 10 villains. Message on the chat if you want to know who are these 8 heroes. Because now, how many of you know that all the 10 villains we are experiencing it? Now we need all these 8 heroes to battle those 10 villains so that we can age gracefully. Okay? Mogambo Khushwa. There are so many heroes now. So let's understand, who are these people? The first one, how do you beat stress? I'll tell you something very, very important. Please listen to me very carefully. Okay, stress is a part of everybody's life. Nobody can run away from it. But the key here is, do you feel threatened by stress or do you feel that you can challenge stress? I'll give you an example. I used to work with TCS many years back. And, from my home to office was 4.5 hours commute up and down, to and fro. And I would sit in traffic. And Bangalore, how many of you know about Bangalore's traffic? Silk Board is a very notorious junction, very popularly worldwide known, for being one of the most horrible junctions. I would get stuck up in that junction for an hour, 45 minutes, 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours, just in that junction sometimes. And I would feel helpless. That was more debilitating stress. Why? A stress where you feel helpless is very serious. It can cause a lot of damage. But tomorrow there is an exam, let's say, or tomorrow there is a presentation in your office. That is also causing you stress. But that is a positive stress because you are taking up a challenge to talk in front of people. Now, when you challenge a stress and you have control over that stress, that is called a stress response, which is a better positive stress response. So the number one thing is, when you encounter a stress, how do you think about it? Do you think that are you in a helpless position or do you challenge that stress? Research has shown that people who challenge stress, who feel that they can control that stress, they have longer telomeres. Telomeres don't get affected. But people who feel helpless, अरे मेरी बीवी मुझे मारती है, ये मेरा मतलब this fate in this lifetime, helpless. मतलब telomeres will become smaller. I hope nobody in that situation, but don't feel helpless. Any amount of stress, if you have mental issues, please reach out to a psychologist, get through it, talk to your coach also, but you will need to go through it, get through it, battle it. That will help you to live longer. Purpose. Oh, this is a big one. A lot of people, when I was working in a job, I didn't have a purpose. So I was very exhausted all the time. I felt lack of energy, nothing, no big purpose in life. But since I have been associated with this community, because I have a purpose, I want to help people lead a better quality life. Suddenly, there is a lot of energy in my system for many years now. For 15, 17 years, I have been associated with this community. And there is a spring in my step. When I wake up in the morning, I know I have a goal in my life. I hope you find a purpose. How many of you know this? This is a tombstone. I hope nobody has this on their tombstone. I wish I had spent more time at work. Anybody wants that? Nobody wants it. That is why you spend more time with your family. It is important. In fact, what will your tombstone say when you die? This is a good exercise, guys. If you can write down in your, in the funeral, in my funeral, what will people say about me? What should people say about me? Write down a few things. And then you can distill your purpose from there and live your life in accordance with that. You will lengthen your telomeres because you are working with a purpose-filled life. This is research proven. Okay. Hero number 3. This is the third hero. Very powerful. Mindfulness practices. So through various sessions, we have covered this. The lifetime of an emotion, even a very unpleasant one, is no longer than 90 seconds. That's all. Do you know that? A very unpleasant emotion is only 90 seconds long. We make it into 3 days or I'm sorry, there's been a power cut. Let me continue. Am I audible? Yeah. Great. Let me know if cool. So the lifetime of an emotion is only 90 seconds, but we engage it. We engage it so much that we can extend it to 3 years or 30 years, maybe. So mindfulness practices will help us to deal with our emotions better. And this is a very critical aspect, lengthening our telomeres. So number 4. This is a very interesting one. Uh, I would encourage all of you to message on the chat. There are 2 pills. Okay. I want you to choose one pill. Okay. Let's go and understand what are these pills. Give me one moment. Just okay. Somebody is already saying red pill. Okay. The first pill. Okay. It lowers BP. It stabilizes insulin. It improves your mood. It increases calorie burn. It fights osteoporosis. It cuts your risk of stroke and heart disease. Side effects: insomnia, skin rash, heart problems, nausea, gas, diarrhea, weight gain, and lot of others. How many want to use the first pill? A lot of people are shaking their head. No way. Okay, let's go to the second pill and then we will decide. Okay. Second pill lowers BP, same thing. Stabilizes insulin, improves mood, increases calorie burn, fights osteoporosis, cuts your risks of stroke and heart disease. No side effect. How many of you want the second pill? Or tell me, which pill do you want? Which pill do you want? Everybody wants the second pill, right? Okay, what is the first pill? It's an imaginary pill, a fantasy synthesis of beta blockers to control BP, statins to reduce cholesterol, diabetes drug to regulate insulin, antidepressants, and osteoporosis medications. That all this combination is the first pill. Now, anybody wants the first one? No one, right? Second pill is real. It's not imaginary. Can you guess what it is? On the chat, I'll give you 10 seconds. Can you guess the second pill? What is the second pill? Any idea? Intermittent fasting, healthy lifestyle. Lifestyle is a very broad area, guys. We are talking about lifestyle only. This pill is called exercise. Take one daily. That is the prescription for this. It will solve all those problems and lengthen your telomeres. Now, which type of exercise? Next question. What exercise should I do to extend the telomere? Good question. Moderate cardiovascular exercise or HIIT is proven in research to increase your telomere length. Moderate cardiovascular exercise or HIIT. Now, some people say, what about strength training? Strength training did not show lengthening of telomeres in the research, but strength training is important to retain your muscle so that you don't age that way. So exercise as a whole is an elixir of immortality, if you want to put it that way. Fourth hero. There are 4 more left. Good quality sleep, our fifth hero. How much sleep do telomeres need? Can you message on the chat? How much sleep do we need to increase the length of telomeres? How much sleep? Any guess? 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, 9 hours. 9 hours is wrong. 9 hours is bad for your health. Less than 6 hours is also bad for your health. At least 7 hours is shown to increase your telomere length. 7.5 hours is ideal. It has 5 cycles of circadian rhythm. 7.5 hours of sleep is the ideal sleep that we need to have. Of course, life is not ideal, nor are we, but at least 7 hours of sleep is essential for all of us. 6 to 7 is bare minimum. Less than 6 is dangerous for your health. This is my testimonial of sleep. Recently, we have launched this partnership with, for magnesium glycinate. And if you see on the screen, on the left-hand side, if you see under the moon symbol, can you see spikes under the moon symbol? How many of you have seen that? in the photo on the left hand side in the before section, under the moon symbol, there are spikes. Okay, my fitness band measures what happens in my body when it comes to sleep. So I was having stress in my sleep. My God, I never knew this. After reading so much, I didn't know that I could have stress in my sleep. Can you see the latest one? The moon symbol, it is flatline. What does it tell you? That my stress has reduced in sleep. This has been a major victory for me personally because I have been able to improve my sleep quality. This is what I consume: magnesium glycinate, ashwagandha, and calcium. Brilliant. The combination is absolutely brilliant. And there's a bedtime ritual. I don't have time to go through it today, but I would to adopt to have a good bedtime. Important. If you feel sleepy during the day, you need more sleep. This mean lower carbs, no sugar, reduce your carbohydrates. Whenever you're eating carbohydrates, make sure it is complex carbohydrates. Remove the sugar. And for a lot of people, you might want to see if there are gut issues, and you might want to go on an elimination kind of a pattern, kind of a diet, so that you can. So night shift work, Vinny, is not recommended health wise. So in the long run, it is better to shift to a profession where you don't have to work in the night. That is the recommendation we can give, because we were not designed to be awake the entire night. It does impact your health, and it does shorten your telomeres. Eating right is so critical. The inflammation, the insulin resistance, and the oxidation that we were talking about, eating right is the hero which can kill 3 villains in the same way. And the belly fat, 4 villains, one hero. So this is your key hero, eating right. Okay. Relationships. Oh, this is a big one. That is the reason we exist as a community. You need close friendships, guys. Today, people are staying in dense populated cities but feeling lonely at the same time. It's a paradox in life. Staying in a densely populated city and feeling lonely. It's the worst thing that can happen to a human being. The number of suicides in our country, I think there is one suicide for every 4 minutes or less than that, something like that. And a lot of this are triggered by the depression. And in COVID, this was brought out even more. It was a drastic thing which happened. People were confined in their homes. Even today, I see that because of working home culture and globalization, people are confined to their homes. It is important for us to develop some meaningful relationships, community involvement. That is why we encourage you to be a part of any community which has a purpose, which gives you some fulfillment, which gives you a purpose in your life, which is beyond your day job, which is important for your health. Because involvement like that will give you a fulfillment kind of a role that you need to have in your life. For me, that this community has provided that for me and a lot of our coaches here. The last hero is your toxin removal. Okay, you will have to engage very consciously to remove toxins from your home. Forget the world. Okay, that is the next step. Let us clean our home. How about sleeping night 12 to morning 8? It is better, but deep sleep, possibility of deep sleep improves when you sleep at 10:30. That's the ideal time to sleep. Actually, the most ideal time to sleep is 6:30 when the sun sets. But we would complain that it is not practical. The next best time is 10 to 10:30, where there is a possibility of higher quality of deep sleep that you can get, which can really rejuvenate you for a very productive day next. Something about pregnancy and aging. How many of you want to understand the impact of this on children on pregnancy? Give me a shout out on the chat. This is the most crucial thing we will talk to today. Okay, very important, especially for people who have small families and about to start a family. Cellular aging begins in the womb. Can you believe that? Cellular aging begins in the womb. Aging at birth. Recent research has shown 287 chemicals in the umbilical cord of a child. 287 chemicals have been found at childbirth itself. That means the mother has passed this many chemicals to the child as the child is born, the question we need to ask ourselves, guys, is what kind of a world are we living in where, unknowingly, because no mother will want to knowingly pass this to her child, but unknowingly, we are messing up our environment in such a massive way that this impact our children have to bear. This is the reason why we have to clean up our homes. We have to remove toxicity from our homes first. Please talk to your coach and arrange a kitchen audit or a pantry audit so that you can get educated about what to throw away from your homes and what to keep in your home. This is the most important activity we need to do. Not just cleaning our diets, but cleaning our homes as well. Because this is a damning piece of information, which is a high impact for all of us. Parents can pass shortened telomere to their child. Do you know that? If the dad and the mom have shortened their telomeres through lifestyle habits, wrong choices, because the egg and the sperm will have it. So naturally the child will have it. We are going to pass something wrong to our children. So please lead healthy lifestyles. It is very crucial for your next generation as well. If you do this, your future self will hi-fi you or at least recognize you in photos. Aging isn't just time passing, it's choices adding up. You can't stop time, but you can control how fast it hits you. So the key here is, guys, I wanted to message here on the chat, which is that one telomere friendly hero habit you will pick today. Your 80-year-old self will thank you for it. Just message on the chat today. Right now, make a decision and tell me on the chat, which is that one hero habit that you will pick today. At least one from tomorrow onwards. Just decide today itself so that you will start doing it tomorrow. At least one. I am so proud of all of you who are messaging, sleep, exercise, mindful practice. So proud of all of you. I want everyone to pick up something that you want to change tomorrow in one of those 8 things. Remember, age is just a number. Telomeres, those are your real expiration date. That is my expiration date. It's your expiration date. Let's make sure yours says best before never. Okay, have you seen this? Best before on the package, best before next 3 months, best before next 12 months. On our life, it should be never, right? I mean, that's the whole purpose of this. That's all I had to share. I hope, we will all pick up something today that we will make a difference tomorrow. One telomere habit that is crucial. Please pick it up and start implementing. We are not talking theory. I myself have been following all the 8 hero habits that I discussed with you today. And it is a work actually. It is not easy. And I could not implement it on day one. It has taken me a few years to build habits in these areas. But please, at whatever stage of life you are in, make it a point to create some of these habits so that you can lead a wonderful life. So I hope we can join. Okay, last before I wind up, how many of you want me to come back next Saturday and just deep dive into only stress in this telomere thing, only stress, and maybe give you a questionnaire to self-assess yourself and deep dive into just stress management, just stress, just take up one thing on stress and dive into it. Would you like it? Would you attend it next week and call your family and friends? If I do that next week, I can come back next week and do it for you. So let's do that. It's confirmed. Next week, I'm going to come back and talk about this telomere thing itself with respect to stress itself. I'll give you a questionnaire next week, a self-assessment for you, and give you a lot of tips about how to handle just that one part. We'll deep dive into it. That's all I had for today. Back to Yogi.